how difficult it is to be a light in this world. With this phrase that sounds continuously in our minds, we began our reflection on Parashat Tetzaveh. You have surely felt it, that sensation that no matter how hard you try to maintain an upright attitude and be gold inside and out, as the Talmud interprets regarding the ark of this sanctuary, life seems intent on testing you, seeking to press your good intentions. However, it is precisely at that point of pressure where Parashat Tetzaveh ceases to be an inventory of ancient vestments and becomes a mirror of our own struggle. It is here that the Torah mentions this olive oil, katit, which had to be pressed specifically for the lighting of the menorah. The Midrash Tanchuma reveals a distinction that shakes our comfort. Oil used for food did not require such rigor, but oil for light did. This forces us to look at our own scars and ask ourselves what kind of oil our lives are distilling from the pressures we face today. There is a vast difference between simply surviving and illuminating. To feed the world with basic actions, it is enough to simply comply. But to give that light which transforms the darkness of others, it's necessary to have gone through the process of being refined by experience. Often we get trapped in the pain of the pressing, looking only inward, without understanding that this way did not come to destroy us, but to extract our purest essence, that light that only we can give. This transformation requires a space that only humility can build. We see it in the mystery of Moses' absence, whose name disappears completely from this parasha. The Baal HaTurim explains that this voluntary withdrawal was so that his brother Aaron could shine with his own light. It is a lesson in fulfillment. Only when we manage to step aside and silence our ego does the sacred find a place to reside. By nullifying our craving for the self, as Moses did, we cease to be the obstacle and become the channel. As the Zohar teaches, when man withdraws from his own center, he allows the Shekhinah to finally find a home within him. That integrity must be audible, a coherence that vibrates with every step. The high priest wore golden bells on the hem of his robe so that, as the Gemara explains, their sound would announce his entry into the sanctuary. If our internal life is made of gold, our walk through the wall must have a coherent acoustic. We cannot claim to be light if our treatment of our neighbor is pure noise and discord. Being light is difficult because it demands that every heartbeat be like one of the precious stones the priest wore upon his chest. Rav Soloveitchik used to say that a true leader does not carry others as a burden, but feels them within his own heartbeat, integrating the pain of others into his own identity. This entire process, the pressing, the silence of the ego, and the integrity of the stride, converges at the altar of incense that closes the parasha. There the ingredients are surrendered to the fire. In Jewish mysticism, fire is the agent of transformation. It is what takes the physical and turns it into something sublime. Incense does not emit its fragrance if it is not consumed. It needs extreme heat to release the aroma that was captive within. In the end, Tetzaveh reveals to us that our existence is a sacred metamorphosis. We are not the olive, but the light it hides. We are not the body, but the fragrance that the fire releases. God does not dwell in the names we try to perpetuate, but in the clarity of our soul that has had the courage to consume itself, to eliminate the path of others. May the Eternal grant us the zechut to be like that olive, that by accepting the rigor of the pressing, surrendering its form in silence, and finally passing through the fire of devotion, it manages to transmute its own bitterness into a pure essence, rising as a sweet and pleasing fragrance that fulfills at last its eternal purpose in this world. Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach.